Good morning. Here we are again, and we're looking at Genesis, and we'll be picking up in Genesis chapter 5 today. And um, this is also always an interesting chapter. A lot of names, probably butcher most of them, but there's a few things here that we can see as we look through Genesis 5 and Genesis chapter 6. So I hope you have your coffee with you. I've got mine. Bible open, so let's take a look. Genesis 5:1. This is the written account of the descendants of Adam. When God created human beings, he made them to be like himself. 2. He created them male and female, and he blessed them, and he called them humans. The genealogy. When Adam was 130 years old, he became the father of a son who was just like him in his image. He named his son Seth. After the birth of Seth, Adam lived another 800 years and he had other sons and daughters. 5. Adam lived 930 years and he died. 6. When Seth was 105 years old, he became the father of Enso. After the birth of Enso, Seth lived another 807 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Seth lived 912 years, and then he died. And Enso was 90 years old. He became the father of Can. When after the birth of Can, Enson lived 815 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Enson lived 905 years, then he died. When Cran was 70 years old, he became the father of Malacca. After the birth of Mahalak, Cran lived another 840 years and had many other sons and daughters. Cran lived 910 years and he died. When Malacca was 65 years old, he became the father of Jared. After the birth of Jared, Malacca lived another 830 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Malacca lived 895 years, then he died. When Jared was 162 years old, he became the father of Enoch. After the birth of Enoch, Jared lived another 800 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch was 65 years old, he became the father of Methuselah. After the birth of Methuselah, Enoch lived in close fellowship with God for another 300 years, and he had other sons and daughters. 23. Enoch lived 365 years, walking in a close fellowship with God. Then one day he disappeared because God took him. 25. When Methuselah was 187 years old, he became the father of Lamech. After the birth of Lamech, Methuselah lived another 782 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Methuselah lived 969 years, then he died. When Elimelech was 182 years old, he became the father of a son, Lamech, who named his son Noah. For he said, may he bring us relief from the work and the painful labors of farming this ground that the Lord had cursed. After the birth of Noah, Elimelech lived another 595 years, and he had other sons and daughters. Elimelech lived 777 years, then he died. But by 32, by the time Moses was 500 years old, he had fathered Seth, Ham, and Japheth. Now, this is kind of an interesting text because each of these guys um, had very unique names. And there's kind of a little message in there for each of these names. Adam means man, Seth, appointed. Eson meant frail, mortal. Kenneth meant sorrow. Michaela meant blessed, the blessed God. Jared shall come down. Eunuch teaching. Methuselah, his death shall bring. Elimelech, despair. And Moses, rest. And when you look at that, it tells us a very important lesson. Man appointed mortal sorrow. The blessed God shall come down, teaching his death shall bring despairing rest. And again, right off the bat, there is showing us the need for salvation. Let's look into chapter 6, verse 1. Then the people began to multiply on the earth, and daughters were born to them too. The sons of God saw the beautiful women and took any they wanted as their wives. There's an important statement there. They took any that they wanted as their wives. 3. Then the Lord said, my spirit will not put up with humans for such a long time, for they are only mortal flesh. In the future, their mortal lifespan will be no more than 120 years. 4. In those days, and for some time after that, after giants lived on the earth, for whenever the sons of God had intercourse with women, they gave birth to children who became the heroes and famous warriors of ancient times. 5. The Lord observed the extent of human wickedness on the earth, and he saw that everything they thought or imagined was constantly and totally evil. You know, that's just kind of showing us that when sin prevails, it just gets worse and worse and worse. 6. So the Lord was sorry he had even made them and put them on the earth. It broke his heart. 7. And the Lord said, I will wipe the human race I have created from the face of the earth. Yes, I will destroy every living thing, all the people, the large animals, the small animals that scurry along the ground, and even the birds of the sky. I am sorry I ever made them. 8. But Noah found favor with the Lord. What is he saying here? Man, he's saying, I'm going to wipe out all of creation, all that. As you read in Genesis 1, he said it was good. And it went from being good to very bad. And it broke God's heart. It broke his heart because he gave them everything. He loved them so unconditionally and wanted fellowship, but their fellowship went away from God. Verse 9. This is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless person living on the earth at the time. And he walked in close fellowship with God. 19. There's a key word there. He was the only one that was blameless. No, verse 10. Noah was the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. 11. Now God saw that the earth had become corrupt and was full of violence. 12. God observed all the corruption in the world, for everyone on the earth was corrupt. 13. So God said to Noah, I have decided to destroy all living creatures, for they are filled the earth with violence, and I will wipe them all out along with the earth. 14. Build a large boat from cypress wood and waterproof it with tar inside and out. Then construct a deck and stalls throughout the interior. Make the boat 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. 16. Leave an 18-inch opening below the roof all the way around the boat. Put a door on the side and build 3 decks inside the boat, lower, middle, and upper. 17. Look, I am about to cover the earth with a flood that will destroy every living thing that breathes. Everything on the earth will die. 18. But I will confirm my covenant with you. So enter the boat, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring a pair of every kind of animal, a male and a female, into the boat with you to keep them alive during the flood. 20. Pairs of every kind of bird and every kind of animal and every kind of small animal that scatters along the ground will come to you to be kept alive. 21. And be sure to take on board enough food for your family and for all the animals. So Noah did everything exactly as God commanded him. What a great place to leave. God did everything exactly as God commanded him. Can we say that? Can we say that God would find us as righteous? He would find us as able to stand and stay true to what he wants for us, the way he wants us to live. And again, he said Noah was the only one that was righteous. And we'll see later, his sons, not all of his sons were righteous. They didn't always do what was right in the sight of God. And yet, because of their father and the faithfulness of their father, they were able to be blessed. And so we will look more about that as we continue on. I hope you have a great day. God bless you.